tension, excited, and he could step off the cliff and die, right? Same as our path or journey can take us in a direction that is not serving us. It is not a good idea for us. It could even be the wrong timing in some regards. But since this is a journey about learning about situations that and learning new tools and things that we can apply to our lives, it's the spiritual growth, right? These different obstacles and challenges and how we can overcome them to progress, right? We go from the fool to the world, and when we have attained things, we're more wise and we can kind of go back to the beginning, but it's not always in sequential order. But anyway, I digress. To this reading, all right? The, so the fool, the first archetype that the fool comes across is the magician. The magician is a clever man, a sorcerer who knows how to spin reality from illusion. He's charismatic and willing to teach the fool how to do the same, but not for nothing. The fool has to catch him first. The magician transforms into a stag and the chase is on. The fool chases the stag through ancient trees and finally catches him in a circle of standing stones. The magician returns and dissolves in the wind with a grin, leaving behind him the fool might need to reshape reality as desired. A disc to bring prosperity, a wand to direct passions, a sword to cut through falsehoods, and a cup to feed and direct emotions. Training, her training is complete. This card represents either a person or a method. As a person, the magician is charismatic and clever, capable of turning any loss into their favor. Often the magician acts as a teacher, either a professional instructor or simply someone invested in furthering the client's interests. If the magician doesn't present a specific person as a specific person, then he represents a way of doing things. This practice is about using your creativity, willpower, skill, and self confidence to finish what you start, despite the hurdles you have to clear on the way. It is about consistently turning dreams into reality. Okay, I loved just the way that that described what happened on the journey. I like to give it a little bit of context. So the magician card is considered representative either Gemini or Virgo, right? Both air and earth. So the fool, every character that he comes across teaches him a lesson to be incorporated into your daily life, right? It could be the big events, the small events. And the magician teaches the fool that he can change the world through his own willpower. As the fool learns to step into the mindset of the magician, he's using everything available to him. And the magician is not turning nothing into something, but working with what is there. And the fool learns through this to create his dream reality. He begins to believe in magic and knows that by co creating with the universe, anything is possible. Essentially, the fool's goal is self discovery, and that leads to maturity and spiritual expansion. So, when the fool meets the magician is representing constructive use of creative power, right? It's considered a great omen. The seeker's individuality will shine. And so, this is about when the fool starts on the journey, could choose two paths and it's still undecided. But the magician has decided on the constructive path. In a reading, if the card is upright, it's constructive. If it is reverse, it's um, deconstruction. Magician is numbered one, which in numerology is about determination, independence, and opportunity. He's ruled by, this card is ruled by Mercury and is a card of individuality. So to break down this a little more, it's also a symbol of power, adroitness, construction, and creative change. His white robe here on the Rider-Waite represents purity. The red robe over it is red as in symbolizing power. His baton in his right hand is extended to the heavens, while his left hand points to the earth, symbolizing as above, so below. There's a snake or Ouroboros that he uses on as a belt, and the belt symbolizes the affinity to the soul of the world, or the universal unconsciousness. On the table in front of him are all four symbols of the four elements: the wand, cup, sword, and pentacle. Around are some red and white lilies, and behind him, the solid yellow glow stands for heightened consciousness. The red roses could be symbols of virtuous, of divine feminine, but could also be symbolic of secrecy or unseen forces in the maternal and sensory worlds. Infinity symbol above his head is symbolic of divinity, where it also stands for spiritual enlightenment, a strong bridge between the conscious and unconscious. So he symbolizes the power, or power of the mind, creative mental power for constructive purposes. It implies that he has limitless capabilities of the mind, especially when it is concentrated. It stands for omnipotent power. It must be strong, both spiritually and in character. He's worldly, knowledgeable, and self aware, and he manifests as self mastery. He's humanity at its best, executing divine motives. Again, humanity at its best, executing divine motives. It's the alliance of reason and faith, or represents the prophetic theological concept of unity. It's about personal greatness, mastery of our physical, mental, and spirituality. Magician is highly disciplined, capable of accomplishing a lot in both the physical and spiritual realms. The element of earth governs this card, and some readers say that he is of the yin, the recessive energy, and some say that he's of the yang, the active energy. So there's a bit of a discrepancy there, both opposing opinions. So the magician is the creator or manipulator of elements of power and influence. So, beloved, in your life, where do you see the magician's energy? How do you show up as the magician in your life? And how would you like to apply the magician's energies to your life to see change? And how do you see yourselves in your life? Where have you seen it in the past or current, where you have started as the fool and moved to the magician? Where are you at with self mastery? Where are you at with manifesting those things that are not so as though they are, right? Turning the spiritual into the physical world. I look forward to this week's musings to see what else, meditating on this card, the magician, and moving from the fool to the magician, how I see it showing up in my life, and just little tidbits that spirit will show me. And I look forward to hearing what you learn this week. Feel free to drop comments for either accountability that you are on this path or just encouragement to others. And beloved, I hope you have a great week and stay grounded.